Hi, I am Sridhar R, Assistant Professor of Physics, Government First Grade College, Poroman, Tumkur. Today, I am going to discuss the capacitance of a conductor. Capacitance is, it can be defined as, capacitance of a conductor can be defined as, it is the ratio of the charge given to the conductor to increase the potential of the conductor. Or we can also define in another manner as the amount of charge that can be given to the conductor to increase the potential by unity. Therefore, we can write mathematically the capacitance of the conductor as C is equal to Q divided by V. Here, Q is the charge given to the conductor and V is the potential difference across the conductor. So, if you know the charges and the potential difference of the conductor, we can calculate the capacitance of the conductor. But we should know the capacitance of the conductor is not depends on the number of charges in a conductor, but it depends only on size and shape of the conductor. Size means the type of the conductor having the sizes like the length, breadth, diameter, radius, all those things of the conductor. This capacity is depends, and also shape. The capacitance of the conductor may also changes on shape. The capacitance of the conductor of a spherical shape is different than the capacitance of the conductor of cylindrical shape or parallel plate, like that. Capacitance of the capacitor, we should know that it depends purely on size and shape of the conductor. So now, today the main uh, derivation is going to discuss the capacitance of an isolated spherical conductor. The isolated spherical conductor mean it is a single spherical conductor on which the charges are distributed uniformly over the surface. Therefore, here I am going to consider two spheres. So one is the sphere A. You can see here this is the sphere A and this is the sphere B. So we are consider two concentric spherical spheres A and B, and each having the radius small a and small b. Small a is the radius of the sphere A and small b is the radius of the sphere B. And the outer sphere B is connected to Earth. You can see the outer sphere is connected to the Earth, and for the inner sphere we are giving the charge plus q. Plus q is the charge which is given to the inner sphere, and therefore the charges will be induces, the same amount of the charges will be induces in the outer sphere. So here you can see the plus q charge is given to the inner sphere, the outer surface of the inner sphere. So therefore the minus q charges will be induces to the inner surface of the outer sphere. So therefore a in between the two spheres there will be a gap because those two are the hollow spheres. Therefore we can find the space between the two spheres, and that space can be filled by any dielectric medium to increase the capacity of the conductor. But here we are choose the air medium as a dielectric medium in between the two spheres A and B. So due to the plus charge is given to the inner sphere, the minus q charge is induced to the inner surface of the outer sphere. Therefore, we have to choose a point P. So let us see here the point P we are chosen. At that point, we have to be calculate the electric field. So because of the plus q charge on the inner sphere and the minus q charge in the inner surface of the outer sphere, an electric field is developed in the space. So therefore, now we have to be calculate the electric field at any point in the space. So now let us see P is the point in between the space of the two spherical conductor, so which is at a distance of r from the common center O. So here O is the common center, and from here to here r is the distance. So the point P is at a distance of r from center O. And also you should know that the electric field E is always outward. Previously we are discussed while deriving the electric field. We know that this electric field is always outward to the radial vector. It is always along the direction of the radius vector. So therefore we got the expression for an electric field at a point P, which is equal to E is equal to 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught q divided by r square. So this is E is equal to 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught q divided by r square into r cap. This r cap shows the direction of the electric field. So the direction of the electric field, which is along the radial vector. So where r cap is the unit vector along the vector OP. So now we have to find the potential difference between the two spheres. So imagine that we have the two spheres A and B. So A is the inner sphere and B is the outer sphere. So between the two spheres there will be a potential difference. So potential means it is the work done to bring the unit positive charge from infinity to that point. Here the potential difference means there will be 2 points. So one is at the point B and another is at the point A. So where A and B are the radii of the two spheres A and B. So here we are bringing the unit positive charge from the point B to A, and we got that and we know that the potential difference of expression for the potential difference, so that is V is equal to minus integral of the limit B to A E dot dl. So here E is the electric field and dl is the displacement vector. Here we are taken the integral limits from B to A because the charge is we are bringing the charge from the point B to A. So therefore we have to take the limits from B to A. So this is the potential difference between the two spheres. And here this dl is the displacement vector which is along the path B to A. So where B is the point on the surface of the outer sphere and A is the point on the surface of the inner sphere. But here we know that E dot dl are the two vectors, so that can be written as E into dl cos theta. So here this E and this dl are the magnitude values, and E dot dl here, these two are the two vectors. So if we expand that, E into dl cos theta, and this theta is the angle between the two vectors E and dl. You know that the electric field which is along the outward normal to the surface, inner surface, but dl is the displacement we are taken from the outer surface to the inner surface. So therefore both are in the opposite direction. Because of they are in the opposite direction, the angle between them is 180 degree. So therefore we can write this EDL cos 180 degree. So cos 180 degree is -1. So therefore which is equal to E into dl, since E and dl are in the opposite direction. Also we know that this dl is equal to minus dr, because dl is the displacement vector from the outer sphere to the inner sphere. So as the dl increases, the change in radial vector is decreases. So therefore in dl will be equal to minus dr. So as the dl increases, the displacement vector increases, the same amount the radial vector is also decreases, but in the opposite direction. So therefore so dl is equal to minus dr. Therefore E dot dl will be equal to E into dr. Now we can get the expression for the potential difference. V is equal to minus integral b to a. So E dot, in the place of E dot dr, yes, sorry, E dot dl, we can write E into dr. So which is equal to minus integral from the limits b to a. For E is the electric field, so that is equal to 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught q divided by r square into dr, right, as it is. So if you integrate this, here the 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught term, q divided by 4 pi epsilon naught term is the constant. You can take outside minus q divided by 4 pi epsilon naught, the integral between the limits b to a, so dr divided by r square. So which is equal to minus q divided by 4 pi epsilon naught. The integration of 1 divided by r square is minus 1 divided by r. Apply the limits b to a. So which is equal to minus q divided by 4 pi epsilon naught 1 divided by a minus 1 divided by b. If you simplify this, so you can multiply minus. So you can remove this minus by q divided by 4 pi epsilon naught 1 divided by b minus 1 divided by a. So therefore b will be equal to q divided by 4 pi epsilon naught. ab is the LCM, so b minus e. So this is the potential q divided by 4 pi epsilon naught into b minus a divided by ab. So now we know that we got that the potential difference between the two spheres. So but here our aim is to find the capacitance of the isolated spherical surface. Isolated means we have to take single surface, single sphere. When we know the potential difference, so we can easily calculate the capacitance of the capacitor by the definition C is equal to Q divided by V. So now therefore the capacitance of the spherical conductor is C is equal to Q divided by V. Substitute for V, Q divided by, so V is equal to Q divided by 4 pi epsilon naught B minus A divided by AB. So here Q and Q will get cancelled. So the capacitance of the capacitor is equal to 4 pi epsilon naught B minus A divided by AB. So this is the capacitance of the spherical conductor. But for an isolated spherical surface, we have to take the single sphere. For that we have to remove the outer sphere. For that we can write the equation 3 also as C is equal to 4 pi epsilon naught whole divided. We are bringing this term to the denominator, therefore it will becomes 1 divided by a minus 1 divided by b. So here as the b tends to infinity, means, so the sphere is at infinite distance. The sphere at the infinite distance means there is no sphere, there is no outer sphere. So therefore we can call the sphere A as an isolated sphere. So when we take the b tends to infinity, the equation will be reduced to C is equal to 4 pi epsilon naught A. So this is the capacitance of an isolated spherical conductor of radius A. Isolated spherical conductor